Hey, welcome back to Dope Man. Today we got something really cool, something I've been super excited about for a super long time. We have another EART guitar, but this one was sent to me by EART themselves. They wanted me to review their headless GW-2 model guitar. So we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna set it up, and then we're gonna demo and review it. Let's go. Alright, so luckily this guitar is nice and small, so we can actually fit it right on the desk and it fits perfectly in frame, so let's get this guy open. All I know about this is that is their headless GW-2 model, so it's a 6-string headless guitar. I'm not sure what color they sent me, so I'm actually really interested to find out what it ends up being. I'm sure I'll like it. I mean, I looked at all of the colors they have and they're all just absolutely stunning. So I don't really know what I'm hoping this is because honestly, any of them will be fine. I'm all for black, I'm all for purple. If it was the greenish blue, that would be cool because it would match my other guitar. And if it was the natural finish, man, that's just wonderful. I also want to say this box is very well taped, so good job to whoever packaged this. All right, so the tape has been cut. Now it's time to lift off the cover and see what we got. All right, I'm very excited. We're gonna share this moment together right here. What do we got? I actually can't see the color through the bubble wrap, so we're gonna open it up here. Ooh, looks like I got the purple one. Oh, that's so sick. So I've actually seen this guitar in person before because one was brought into the music store where I work for a restring, although I haven't seen this color in real life. So this is definitely a first for me seeing this color. Wow, that is really pretty. The purple is very, very subtle. It's just kind of like a stain. You can even see kind of the brown wood through it, but I really, really like that. That's cool. Looks like it has a lot of the features of the EART Explorer 1 that I already reviewed, like the 24 frets, stainless steel ball end. It's got the truss rod adjustment at the bottom of the neck, which I adore. Very similar, if not the same pickups and the same control knob layout. Although this one has a few interesting things. I've never seen this bridge design before on a headless guitar. That's very interesting with the tuners up here. And another cool thing that I was noticing from the pictures is that the output jack is actually right here, which is really interesting. I think that's cool because you can hook it over the strap. That's kind of a good placement. And another really unique feature is that it has a 0 fret. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever actually played a guitar with a 0 fret before. So that is super neat. Oh man, look at the back. That is just like the other EART guitar. Beautiful open pore finish, kind of a red stain, and a 5-piece neck. Wow, that is gorgeous. Overall design wise, wow, this is a really stunning guitar. Let's get rid of the box here so we can appreciate it. I'm already enjoying this design as opposed to other headless guitars I've seen. It's a little bit different, which makes me very happy because that means they didn't just follow the formula for a headless guitar. It's got kind of a somewhat unique shape. I guess the body shape on this kind of part is following kind of the Strandberg guitars and also down here. But what I like is it's almost somewhere between something like a double cutaway Strat kind of guitar with the flare here and a Tele which does not have the cutaway on this side. So it's like kind of somewhere in between, and I like that. It's unique. And it also has this kind of like angle bit here, which is really cool. I think something I noticed about all EART guitars is the pickups are always covered. There's always the spoke wheel truss rod adjustment down here, and then also the knob style. They have massive knobs that I actually really, really dig. So yeah, this looks very fun. The action actually looks very good out of the box, and the neck is almost perfect. You can kind of see that. Wow, that is an excellent adjustment on the neck. So overall, just upon looking at it, it's very well set up. Obviously, I've yet to play it, so we'll see how that translates to actual playability. But yeah, this is looking really cool so far. Let's try her out. All right, so we're gonna plug this bad boy in, see how it sounds. Right now we got it plugged into the PV6505 mini head and a Mesa Boogie 1x12 cabinet mic'd by an SM57 with some EQ matching in software. Let's go. definitely needs some tuning. Let's get that tuned up. I think I'm gonna put it in drop C and we're gonna do some chugs on it. This thing rips. It is so nicely balanced because you can just like sit like that and it just kind of floats in your lap because no headstock. The action definitely has to be raised on this a bit because I'm getting some string buzz, but that's, you know, totally normal setup process stuff. No, nothing on EART for that. But that was just bridge pickup. Let's try a couple other configurations, maybe on the clean channel. This sounds super solid. Like I said, with a like really proper setup on this, I think this could just sound like killer. The setup is already pretty good, just the action needs to be up a little bit. Honestly, the pickups in this sound really, really good, even especially with distorted tones. They just sound super good. Let's turn the reverb down there. just sounds super killer. I think this is a really good guitar for pretty much anything heavier and even some cleaner tones. It doesn't have any kind of push-pull functionality in the pots, so no single coil action going on. It does a few things and it does them really well. The tuners are kind of a mixed bag, to be completely honest. I think having them above the bridge as opposed to on the back is much better, in my opinion, much more convenient, but I did find that the ratio of them made it hard to really like fine-tune the notes. So positioning is good. The gearing ratio could be increased a little bit just so that it's a little easier to fine-tune. Pickups sound great. The electronics seem to work great. The neck feels phenomenal. It's a compound radius, so that means it's much more curved down here and more flat up here. The guitar overall feels extremely modern. I would compare the playability to something like a Schecter or Ibanez guitar. The stainless steel frets feel amazing. There is absolutely no sharpness on the ends because of the ball end frets. Like, I can slide up and down this and I honestly barely even feel that there are any frets there. It's so smooth. The actual finish on the neck is really nice. It's kind of like a satin finish, so it's not like glossy polish, but it's also not just like raw wood. So that's really, really nice. I'm assuming that restringing this guitar is going to be super easy because the ball ends of the strings are up here and down here is where you actually tie in everything. But man, this is a really, really solid guitar. I'm really liking it so far. I think it's beautiful. It plays great. My complaints about it are very, very, very minor. Output jack placement is really excellent, I think. Really lends itself to being either played this way, like a normal guitar, or more in an upright kind of way, and the output jack is not in the way at all. And I like that the output jack placement is such that you could very, very easily pass it through the strap just to prevent it from pulling out. And it's not gonna like bend like crazy like a normal one would because it's coming out here. It's just going straight to it. So I think that's pretty great. The knobs feel like super, super solid. The switch feels pretty good. The pickups are real nice. I haven't heard them through headphones, so I don't know how they sound in a mix. I'll have to check that later in the video. I also like what they've done with the inlays on the fretboard, how they're towards you on the lower frets and then away from you on the upper frets. That's just kind of a cool design. I always appreciate when guitar makers do interesting fret inlays like that. And the reachability to upper frets, the accessibility to them is phenomenal just because of this perfectly placed cutaway here. I think I would have appreciated a little bit of contouring right here like some guitars do so that you can really get your hand right up there, but I think the level at which this is cut away here is really good. The guitar, despite being really light, like a headless guitar usually is, it feels super, super solid. And I think that's something I noticed about my other EART guitar, the non-headless one that I reviewed on the channel a little while back. That one is quite a bit heavier because it's not a headless guitar and it's got a full body and headstock. It's quite a bit heftier than other guitars that are around the same size that I own, but I honestly don't mind it because the guitar just feels insanely solid, and like I said, that's definitely something I'm noticing here too. The fretboard material is really beautiful. Looks like it is nice and hydrated, not all dried out like a lot of guitars come stock. Everything on here is metal. There's no like plastic crap or anything. Everything is metal. Really appreciate that. Very, very, very impressed with this guitar. I think it's really hard to distinguish entry-level guitars from a lot more expensive intermediate or even like pro level, you know, American Fender guitars anymore. If you told me to guess what price this guitar was, I would definitely say at least double what it is actually priced at on like Amazon or their website. Like, this guitar just punches way above its price class, and I think I've been noticing that about a lot of guitars from smaller guitar makers like EART here, and the Agile guitar that I reviewed not too long ago. That one very similar story, but I think even more to an extreme with this, like, does not feel like it is worth the amount of money that I paid for it. It is easily double that. It's crazy. The value on these is just insane. The finish is beautiful. I love the open pore finish. You can feel all the burls. It gives it such a nice personality. The stain on it is really, really unique. Like, not a full stain over everything, but also not like a sunburst or anything. The 5-piece neck is beautiful and different than the 5-piece neck on my other EART guitar. The one on that is a much darker wood, while this is much lighter and has these red stripes on it that I really like. And the branding on everything is super subtle. The only branding basically on the whole guitar is the little logo on the back of where the headstock would go. Tell you what, I'm gonna spend another day with it. I'm going to record my thoughts about it after that, and we'll see what I think after another day. So cue tomorrow Fi. What are your thoughts? What do you have to say? Are you gonna play it? What are you gonna do? I don't know, but let's give him some room to talk or play. Alright, so it's the second day and I've been playing around with this guitar a whole bunch more, and honestly my thoughts on it are largely the same as yesterday, which is overall a really good thing. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail because I already kind of explained to you why I like this guitar. A couple things that I did was I changed the action on the bridge here. I had to up that a little bit to make sure the frets weren't buzzing. Now it plays fantastic, and honestly a very similar playing quality to the other EART guitar that I have reviewed, but a very different feel. Even though it has a lot of the same features, it has a very different feel from the other EART guitar, which is totally fine. They're just for different styles of playing, different people, whatever. I really like both. I also adjusted the pickups so that they were a little bit closer to the strings, but honestly that's about it. That's all I did. The setup on it was already really good. The neck was super straight. The intonation was really good. Everything on this guitar is super solid and I'm really, really enjoying it so far. But I guess right now all I wanted to do was kind of just compare it to a couple other guitars I have. We have my Agile guitar that I reviewed in a different video. This is a 7-string. Very, very different body design. It's much more curved. It's got a really huge cutaway here, and it's kind of mildly headless. Like, it still has a good bit above the nut there, but just kind of comparing overall playing feel, they're very, very different actually, especially because of the fretboard. With the really smooth fretboard and the stainless steel frets on this guy, it just feels really amazing. And honestly, both guitars feel great, but the GW-2 just honestly feels next level. I think I prefer the body feel of the Agile guitar, and it's also, even though it's a 7-string guitar and the body is physically bigger, it's also quite a bit lighter than even this 6-string GW-2. Not that I really mind either way, but just so you know, this one is just under 6 pounds, and I'm guessing this one's probably gonna come in at like 6.5 or 7 pounds. So it's not that much heavier, but just something to keep in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is that this guitar has some pretty sharp corners here, so you're gonna want to be careful about how you're positioning this on yourself. Positioning it where the contour is really gonna be your friend in this. Going like this, well, it might be fine for other guitars that are a little more rounded here. You're not gonna have a good time with that on this guitar, which is totally fine. That's what the contour is for. It's totally doing its job. But, you know, just to be aware of, here there's no contouring right here. On my other EART guitar, there's a big old contour right here. So, you know, reaching your hand all the way up there feels just like super, super nice. They're both pretty hefty, but not in a bad way. I think they both feel extremely solidly built. And even though they're from the same company and they physically seem to have very similar hardware, they feel very different to play. So yeah, that just about does it for my review of the EART GW-2. If I didn't already mention this in the start of this video, EART has sent me this guitar to review and to keep after the review. So I did not purchase this guitar, it was provided for free, but honestly, I would have purchased it if I had not had the opportunity to get it for free. Honestly, it's worth the money. Like, seriously. Everything about it is impressive, from the build quality to the playability to the sound of it. It is all very, very high quality, very impressive, and I think EART has done a fantastic job with their guitars. I have very few complaints about them, and the ones that I do have are just so minor that they don't even really affect the playability that much. And as far as the tuners go on the bridge, the ratio could definitely be improved, like I said yesterday, but I did notice they also have some grooves in them, so if you wanted, you could take like an Allen key or something and use that to really fine tune it. Overall, really, really excellent job. Great guitar. I would rate it overall a 9.2 out of 10. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to EART for providing this guitar to review. It's been super fun. I love this thing. Thanks a bunch. See you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see ya. Peace.